Okay, let's look at the first problem here, and we're going to think about what we worked on yesterday. We were looking at trig ratios, and we used our mnemonic device, SOHCAHTOA. So SOHCAHTOA tells us that, let's look at SO. This tells us that sine of an angle is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. That cosine of an angle is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And tangent of an angle is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. Now, let's look at these problems here, and we're going to start with number 1. Let's look at what they gave us and what they're asking for. They give us the measure of angle A is 20 degrees. So they have indicated the angle that we're looking at, the angle that we're referencing is this one, and it's 20 degrees. They have also given us side C is 32, and they're asking us to find A. That's what we want. What is the length of A? So let's label our sides opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. O, A, and H. Let's label those so we can refer to our ratios up here and compare. From this angle, this side is the opposite. This side is the hypotenuse, and this side is the adjacent. So every time we're going to look at what did they give us and what do they want. They gave us the hypotenuse is 32. They want to know what the opposite side is. Opposite and hypotenuse, O and H. Which of these three trig ratios, sine, cosine, or tangent, is a ratio of opposite and hypotenuse? Well, opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So sine of an angle is opposite over hypotenuse, which in our case they actually give us the angle. Angle A has a measure of 20 degrees, so this is the new part for today. They tell us that angle A is 20 degrees, so sine of 20 is equal to the opposite, which is A, that's what we want to know, over the hypotenuse, which is 32. So to solve this, we would have to multiply both sides by 32 to solve for our variable. Right now our variable is being divided by 32, so we multiply by 32. Okay, now, if you do not have your own calculator, I need you to go grab one now so y'all can hit pause on the video, and when everybody has a calculator, press play again. Now that everyone has a calculator, let's practice. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode, and let's do sine of 20. That is not your bell, so everybody stay seated. That is not your bell. That's the bell when I was recording this lesson. Okay, so if we do 32 times sine of 20, this gives us a value of 10.9. So A is approximately 10.9. Let's look at number 2. The measure of angle A is 49 degrees. So once again, we're looking at angle A. You don't always have to look at angle A. If you look at number 3, it's from angle B. But this one is once again from angle A. They give us A this time, so side A is 17, and they want side B. So what we're given is side A. What they're asking for is side B. So with respect to this angle, 49 degrees, A is the opposite. B is the adjacent. C, which we don't need, is the hypotenuse. So they gave us the opposite. They're asking for adjacent. Opposite and adjacent. Which one of these trig functions is opposite and adjacent? That's TOA. Tangent is opposite and adjacent. So this is what we're starting with. Tangent of the angle is the opposite side and over the adjacent side. So in this particular problem, tangent of 49 is equal to the opposite, 17, over the adjacent, B. We don't know. That's what we're trying to solve for. Now this time my variable's in the denominator. When your variable's in the denominator, you've got to get it out of that denominator. And the way we do that is by multiplying both sides by the variable. So now we have b times tangent of 49. Those b's cancel over there, equals 17. So b times tangent of 49 equals 17. Now to solve for b, hey guys, I'm recording. To solve for b, you're going to divide both sides by tangent of 49. Tangent of 49. Could y'all shut the door? So 17 divided by tangent of 49 is what we'll press into our calculator. And that gives us approximately 14.8. Okay, so now we've looked at sine, we've looked at tangent. What do you think we're going to do? Which one have we not looked at? Cosine. We haven't looked at cosine, and then we'll have an extra. So one of these is probably going to be cosine. Let's set this one up. The measure of angle B is 41 degrees. So if B is 41, they tell us A is 28, and they ask us to find C. So you always look at what you're given and what you're asked for. C is the hypotenuse. B is the opposite side. A is the adjacent side. So they gave us the adjacent, they want the hypotenuse. Which trig ratio is that? That's cosine. So cosine of an angle is equal to the adjacent side, 28, over the hypotenuse, C. So once again, our variable's in the denominator. You have to multiply both sides by that variable to get it out. So we get C times cosine of 41 equals 28. And then to solve, you would divide both sides by cosine of 41. So C is approximately, let's punch it in, 28 divided by cosine of 41 is 37.1. Alright, so that's an example of each of the three trig functions we've studied. Sine, tangent, and cosine. So this is one more example. Ladies, I'm recording. One more example. This angle is 63.2 degrees. This side is 19.2. And then they ask us for B. So we're given this, they're asking for this. Let's look at opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. If this is my angle, this side is the opposite, and this is the adjacent. The hypotenuse is over here. Opposite and adjacent, that's tangent, TOA. Please ignore that though. So tangent of 63.2 degrees is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Variables in the denominator takes an extra step. We'll multiply both sides by B. Cancels here. So now we have B times tangent of 63.2 is equal to 19.2. And then we divide by tangent. Divide by tangent of 63.2. So we punch in on our calculators 19.2 divided by tangent of 63.2. And that gives us approximately, B is approximately 9.7. Okay, so what were our steps? You label what you're given. Then you label your triangle, opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. You look at what you're given and ask for. Given and ask for. Here we were given opposite, we were given hypotenuse. We were asked for opposite. That's sine. Then you set up your ratio and you solve. Okay, you have two worksheets to practice. One is yesterday where we weren't solving, we were just setting up. The other is what we talked about today. Those must be turned in at the end of class. I want you to show your work on the solving one. And I will grade those tomorrow when I get back.